Hello, I'm Marcus V. Calvert and welcome to Tales Unlimited. Today's battery prompt is number 85. You're walking home and stumble across a pregnant woman in labor. Her child's not human. Your intervention might determine the fate of galaxies. All right, you you live in the hood. You're this uh, decent fella, decent house, just work third shift in a warehouse somewhere, look after your family. Um, you got I don't know, younger brother, wife, two kids, little ones. And you hop off the bus because you let her have the car. It's kind of like that. It's tight. So you're walking along and you come across a pregnant woman on the grass on a spring morning. No one's up yet. And you rush over to her and she seems to be dying, like having like not only labor, but she's dying. She's bleeding out. She's pale, and when you roll over, you see. I mean, you roll up a little bit to the side, you see that she's been shot. You're like, who did this to you? You're pulling the phone. It's like, who did this to you? And you start to call 911, and you hear in this voice in your head say, stop, and you stop mid dial. Like, what the hell? You'll suffice. Whoa, 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 whoa! What are you talking about? And then something jumps into your head, and you see all these memories of a king, of an empire far, 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 far away, like in another galaxy far away, who is afraid of basically losing his heirs, losing his grip on power, that he has enemies within and without. So he cleverly uh, took his royal, shall we say, his seed, and basically wove his memories into it, and then had him like sent off to different worlds, into different mothers, even different races. He didn't care because the power of his rule, the power that holds everything together is psychic. It's in the mind. Any of his heirs could step up and prove, hey, I'm the one because just look in my head and you'll see. And like the elite class, they're all psychics. Everyone else, regular folks. The technology can only be run by psychics. That's what makes them dangerous. And it amplifies their abilities. So with their psychic powers, they can defend themselves, right? So there's a rebellion of sorts going on from within, and then he's got other rival empires, regimes, governments, whatever, trying to take him out because they're afraid of him. And they see him as vulnerable because he's old. And his mind is slowly falling apart because he's been around too long. Well, he leaves his heirs out, and his heirs are getting picked off one by one by one. And you basically are one of the last to get sent. He was thinking, okay, I will send him off among worlds within my empire, and they're all dead. Okay, well, I'm going to send this one off to some far off planet called Earth, where I used to go as a child to have fun, my younger days. They'll never find him on Earth. Send him. So you might be the last heir. You don't know. But your priority is to get back because you think your father might be dead. And that's basically all that's going on in your head as the baby jumps into the mother's mind, uses it as a springboard to jump into your mind right then and there. And you basically, like, you are just about to dial 911. You literally dial 911 and then you hang up, tuck it away, straighten your shirt, straighten your coat, walk off. And you make it home. And you literally get there about 10 minutes before, government folks come in to basically uh, kill her because they're the ones who shot her because one of their other alien contacts is like, yeah, they're warning them that, okay, this thing is on your planet, and if you don't get this thing off your planet or give it to us in 3 days, we're going to destroy your planet just to kill this bloodline. So they find the mother and they deliver the kid. I mean, they deliver the corpse, but they lose precious time in the verification that it's already been born. So now these government guys have to find the host. Where did the consciousness go? And they have to do it within that time frame or billions die. Also, there are ways off this planet, prearranged, of course, but they don't know where they are. The heir does. If the heir manages to get to one of these points and leave the planet and goes back, oh, he's going to basically take the throne with a reckoning and probably start all kinds of wars because daddy was weak and old. The heir is not. So, implications there. This should be a book, but it's it feels thin to me. I want to give it more time, but that's what I have. What would you come up with, given the chance, given time? What would you change? Would you make it mystical? Would you make the would you make the child a straight up like refugee from a dead family, dead dynasty, no way going back? It doesn't impact galaxies. It might just be like a more personal story, like folks are just trying to kill me out of spite. Help me, help me. Yeah, sure, kid, hide my head. And it just turns into that, a simpler, more personal story. Well, write it as you will. I'm Marcus V. Calvert, and this is Tales Unlimited. Please check out talesunlimited.net for the podcast, two of them. There's the Batchery Daily Prompt and a Disturbing Thought of the Day. Both go off on a daily basis. Then there are the book links. Go to the the e-commerce part of the website, and they'll take you to links that'll lead you straight to the books on Amazon. They're available in print and ebook. What are they about? Well, the Batchery series involves 200 unique writing prompts. Strange, twisted, different, like this one. And a little wisdom on how to write that first novel for those people who might have lost years of their lives trying to write that first book. Follow the system. You do it all the way, you'll be able to write books, sell them, build your business, build your brand, your fan base while you're working on your first novel. How's that for twisted? On top of that, you'll be able to, say, have brain fuel if you're any kind of storyteller other than a novelist. So let's say you're an evil GM, short story writer, comic book writer, game designer, screenwriter, or you are that grizzled novelist. You've written a bunch of books. You don't need help with the how, but 200 unusual ideas per book. Tell me there's not something there you can't use. Also, anthologies, two of them. Think New School Twilight Zone. One is called Unheroic, the other is called The Book of Schemes. Both have 25 stories in each. So for Unheroic, an example would be, okay, there's this geneticist who comes across a way to basically create an implant, like a symbiote. Slap it on somebody, let them recover from it, and they're basically Superman. They can go from zero, like regular person, sprout muscles, be invulnerable, fly around, energy beams, the whole shebang. And he wants to mass produce it and flood the black market with it. And this would, of course, threaten global stability, of course. And the only person who's going to stop him is a gentleman fixer who's downright ruthless and a war criminal, whose name happens to be Benjamin Clyde. Wink, for those of you who are my fans. And there's also the Book of Schemes. So think schemes of all stripes. Twisted, funny, diabolical. Well, in this case, you have a psychic cop who is in the middle of a situation. Somewhere an empath has cut loose with so much power that everyone in a wide radius, like we're talking like a downtown district, feels whatever he or she is feeling. And the empath is feeling fear. So everyone else is feeling fear and they're dying. And this cop is just barely strong enough to maybe get to the empath, but has to figure out how to shut the empath off. One way or another. A scheme within a crisis. They're all over the place. Check them out. And then there is the novel series. Think I Villain. Think, that's what it's called. Think Sin City with superpowers. Supervillain fiction told from the perspective of Benjamin Clyde, gentleman fixer, dude in a suit. Gee, the name just come up, right? He's a guy that all sides of the law call whenever they want a problem solved. So if you want to take a symbiote off the market, if you want to make someone dead, make someone a senator, rob a bank, start an ethnic cleansing, he's your guy. What made him dangerous was that he had the best mercs money could buy, until one night he annoys people worse than him. They take his money, his business, his right to be a crook, and he ultimately is forced to fight crime in the superhuman crime capital of the world. So his life expectancy is a joke, except he has a black ops past and superpowers that he didn't tell anybody about. So guess what he ends up doing? He fights crime, he thrives, and then After saving the world a few times, he realizes that the really high order crazy bastards, they tend to have money when they're trying to take it over or destroy it. So why not kill them and take their cash? Huh. All of them are fun, fine reads. I highly recommend. Okay, I'm Marcus V. Calvert, and this is Tales Unlimited. I'll see you tomorrow.